Hey guys, are you ready for today's August 15th, 2020, almost 1:30 a.m. Central Time. So this is an opinion video. If you don't want to hear my opinion, shut it off. Why Democrats hate Trump. Well, I've been asked this over the years since he got into office, and I've always given kind of a half-assed answer, depending on how much I feel like typing. But I've kind of wanted to wait as time has passed to see how Trump is functioning, okay, to answer this. And I think I've completed my assessment, okay? And I already did this video once, so it could be going long or it could go really short. I said stuff I did not feel comfortable with sharing, so I'm redoing it. So if you're just now paying attention to politics, okay, and most of you, because I have a small channel now, and you guys found me, most of you do know my history regarding the military, the government, intelligence, all that wonderful stuff. I'm not going to get into it here, and I do not go in depth regardless, and I shouldn't and can't because I'm not someone who is willing to risk my life on it. In fact, somebody emailed me, I did not say this in a prior video, today, talking about documentary, and it's documentary on shadow government. I don't know what that is. They haven't gotten back to me, but they listed a bunch of stuff. Anyway, my response to it was, besides this stuff on GayTube, is anyone who gets out anything truly sketchy about the government regarding domestic shit will disappear and or push to the ledge to kill yourself. That you can trust me on. Question: is it worth trying to educate the public about these practices? Answer: if you're going to get mentally and possibly physically tortured until you kill yourself just to share the information no one can stop or change, was it worth it? And I ended the email that way. So my theory goes very in-depth into the government. It has nothing to do with Trump being a racist. Trump got out of the Paris Climate Accord. He's ruining the climate. He's dog whistling to the white supremacy. He hates immigrants. He's not protecting our country. He doesn't listen to science and whatever other mainstream he's in bed with Russia. You know, all these mainstream media headlines. And if you aren't paying attention to politics, you're just seeing this stuff for the first time. Meaning, you know nothing about anything regarding the government. You don't even know how a bill is passed. You don't know how it's written. You don't know how Congress functions. You don't know how many agencies there are in the government. You know nothing. All you know is what's on Twitter and what's on social media and what the mainstream media is talking about. Period. That's all you know. Unless you go way depth into crap that I do just for fun, which are going to committee hearings and know all kinds of weird shit. So let's back off for a second. Pay attention to the people who are whining about Trump, first of all, who are the main big mouths in the Democratic Party. And there's one Republican that is a problem too, and he never, ever should have gotten back into the politics, into the government where he's sitting, because he can do a lot of damage where he's at, just as a senator, and that is Romney. But for the House, okay, I wrote down these names real quick. These people have been in Congress for decades, okay? Some of them have been in Congress longer than I've been alive, and I'm a millennial. That's entirely too long. But if you are in a job that long, you pretty much know the ins and outs of every fucking thing around you. And it would be very difficult for anything to happen around you, unless you're completely ignorant, that you're not aware of. So even how big the government is, it's a very small place. So, like, for example, Nadler, Claiborne, oh God, he hates Trump. Cohen, Green hates Trump. All these people hate Trump. Jackson Lee, Stilwell, he hasn't been around forever. Cicilline hasn't either. Pelosi, Cummings when he was alive. Most of those people have been in Congress for a very, very long time. Senate, Romney, Feinstein, Blumenthal, Booker's kind of new, Leahy, Kaine, Coons, Schumer, Harris is kind of new, White House. All those people that are the biggest microphones on the Democratic side to whine to the public have something invested in the government that is far deeper than any of us will ever understand in any capacity. Because I'm sure some of them are involved in certain things. And I can tell you one thing, Nadler and Pelosi are... this is where I'm backing up again. Back up. Anyway, so you know nothing about anything, right? You just know these people exist and they whine. They hate Trump. One of the reasons they hate Trump is because he can change a narrative very quickly in the media. And that's what runs this country because people are stupid. And they don't like that because it gives people a second perspective and has them question what it is other people have been pushing the narrative. So Nadler, Claiborne, Cohen, Jackson Lee, Stilwell, Romney, Blumenthal, Feinstein, all these people, okay, will throw something up and it's consistent. It is a talking point. You will see it. It's like, for example, what do they call it? Rather than defund the police, it's like it's not revolutionize. It's something else. If you don't know what it is, I don't either. It's something about revisioning the police or something of that nature. As soon as there's a key term out there, every Democrat uses it. It's as if a big ass memo goes out. And I can tell you it does. But it goes out in a different way. So they are pissed that Trump, in one press conference, in one question on the way to Marine One, can change that fucking narrative so goddamn easy it blows their fucking heads off. And they want to fucking kill him. Because they're trying to keep us controlled. Okay? And Trump is really causing a problem with that. The amount of information that the government knows about all of us is crazy. I'll give you an example that nobody has thought of. Guaranteed, nobody. For example, Trump has a cabinet, right? Every president has their own cabinet. All these cabinet members leave. New ones come in. They get confirmed. Some of them don't. They just go in. Places like, for example, HUD. Education, labor. Those are very important departments nobody really thinks about. They think about intelligence, FBI, CIA, people are spying on us, NSA. No. Well, yeah. But think about those three, what a lot of people would be like, boring departments. You put people in state. You put people ahead of those to figure out, go in the job and report back to you, what's going on, and you figure out the best policy. Sounds simple to a degree, right? For example, HUD. This is something Obama administration had put in. Obama administration, I was in, meaning served in during that time, not for him. Let me correct that. Obama did a lot of ugly things, and that's one of the reasons that they are terrified that Trump is going to get another 4 years, because between 2018 and 2016, Obama revolutionized that fucking government so ugly that they are terrified he's going to flip it, figure out what's been going on, and share it, or whatever he chooses to do. And Trump is brilliant. Okay, he definitely has a higher IQ. Something is going on with him. He's definitely a narcissist though, but something's going on with Trump. And anyone who thinks different, you are not paying attention at all. He does stuff on purpose, and it's hysterical. Anyway, so HUD, for example, okay? Obama administration put in this policy about, I can't even remember the name of it, but they overturned it. Biden wants to put it back in, and they're calling Trump a racist for overturning it. And it's basically, they're putting what they claim low-end housing in suburban areas. And it's supposed to, get people who are poor into the middle class, get better jobs, better housing, all this stuff, right? In theory, that sounds good, right? except for the people who are in the suburbs who would hate it and their houses would decline and all this stuff. And that's actually a decent, concern. But in order to get a grant for that, let me give you an example. They need to know everyone's name, the demographics, so age, ethnicity, religion, how many schools are in the area, if there's shopping areas, what type of shopping areas, median home range, let's see what else. If that's kind of questionable where they get it. So they get all that information. So that's a lot of information in order to get a grant, a simple grant. They need to get everyone's information that is around that area, and it has to be quite accurate. Now, imagine HUD doing that, and it's not just for this particular program. HUD's been doing it for a long time in different programs for Section 8 housing and stuff. Imagine HUD gathering that type of information for a couple decades. They know everything about that landscape. They know the ethnicities that were there, that moved out, that moved in. They know cradle to grave some of these people. Okay? That's frightening. Then you add in, intelligence agencies. Well, all you do is give them the demographic of shit and people's names. I mean, how hard is it for them to track you then? It goes really deep. Everything's really connected. Way more than people question or think or whatever. So, and then labor, for example. They put out the rules of, what's fair, what's this, what's that, And so they control the population through workforce and education. Obviously, that's kind of a given on what they do. So everything's controlled. Every aspect of our lives are controlled. We are like lemmings, okay? And you don't even fucking know it. But, and this is all opinion, so if Trump gets into office, which he has, and I'm really concerned that those intelligence briefings he gets every day are whitewashed, and I'm pretty damn sure I'm accurate on that. And that's a big concern for many reasons. I think he's being hidden, a lot of stuff's being hidden from him as much as possible, because these Democrats, Nadler, Jackson Lee, Cohen, Pelosi, Feinstein, Romney, Schumer, all these people are in bed with the government, and they don't want Trump to see shit. So they are loudmouthed, and they are frightened, okay? That's a behavior that you can totally see just as a normal person. With all my behavioral science, you don't even need to know it. You don't even know it. Flight or fight instinct, okay? Social media is their way to fight, okay? So they are loudmouthed. Anytime Trump gets close to anything, you can tell because of some Twitter feed. You can. It's just so funny, which is why I follow all politicians and I don't really follow anybody else. So you can tell through their tweets what Trump is seeing that day. And unless you're really paying attention, it's hard to decipher that. So Trump's going to see all these connections that these people have networked for decades. They're career politicians. Look at fucking Fauci right now. He is a career physician, government career physician that, yeah, he deals with viruses or whatever the fuck, that everybody thinks he says is the Bible. He comes from God. Everything he says is from God. And it's like, why? Why is Fauci so popular? And why is Biden saying he's going to take Fauci on day one and shove him into his administration in the Oval Office? Why? Think about that. Why is Fauci such a big deal to the Democrats? I got an email the other day from the Democratic Party because I'm subbed to their stuff and I fuck their polls up all the time, that said, Trump is attacking Fauci. We must protect him. Wonder why that is. Is Fauci not replaceable? What does Fauci know? What viruses has he been working on? What labs has he been in? What positions? Who's done what? And there was, there was a video out of what some chick, and she got pulled offline, and I'm not going to go into all that. But Fauci's just as, quote, deep state as it goes. Okay? And it's scary. He's scary because it's obvious that he dealt with biological weaponry type of stuff. Okay? Doesn't mean he was part of it, but he obviously has access to those labs. And it's so he could be a part of a lot of different things, but now they're pushing the narrative that there's a problem between Trump and Fauci, even though that dumbass has gone on basically all networks saying, no, we get along, blah, 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 and all this shit. Whether it's true or not is beside the point. But there's certain things that will come up and you start to question, right? The connections around this government are fucking ugly. And they're terrified that Trump's going to figure out a lot of it, and it's going to get passed down to the following administration once Trump leaves. And I don't mean Biden. I mean Trump gets in for another 4 years, fucks up the shit Obama did, and Obama was sketchy as fucking hell. And he is the reason I left service. I hate Obama. You want to talk about someone I hate? I hate Obama. And to a whole other fucking degree of spins me into a whole other world of how much I hate that motherfucker. And his ass is starting to speak up about shit, and I want to pound him into the ground because he needs to shut his fucking mouth. He needs to stay out of government like every prior president has ever done. Keep your mouth shut. But he won't, because he's got shit in this game. His shit is at stake. He was banking on Clinton getting into office, continuing the trash that he was doing on this domestically, okay, on the American public, and everything he was fucking doing around the fucking world, loving people, bowing down to all these people, especially Iran, bowing down to Iran. We went dark in Iran, and I wondered why. And I said, why are we shutting these certain things off? And you know what I got? A memo basically saying, stay out of it. They shut something down I was working on, and I get a memo that basically says, stay out of it. Are you fucking serious right now? You're not gonna... Anyway. Obama is a great example because Clinton didn't get into office. So that fucked his whole world up. So now he's trying to get Biden into office to get Trump the fuck out. They're afraid Trump's going to have another 4 fucking years to screw everything up, find everything. And then the following administration after Trump is going to be related to Trump in some way. Not actually related, family-wise, genetics or anything of that nature. But it's going to be passed along to another Republican, conservative person who is going to get every aspect that Trump knows about everything. Have you ever read the book, The Giver? Trump will be that dude that is giving the real world to that child. And that child and the giver ends up escaping the world he was in that was so controlled. That's what they're afraid of. That's actually a great analogy. This is Are You Ready For It? Take care, guys. Have a great day.